Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be talking about the Montessori education. As we educate ourselves, the teaching methods of Montessori, here are the lessons that we should expect for. First is the history of Montessori education. Second is the learning system of Montessori. And third is the five principles of Montessori education. Let us take into the memory lane of Maria Montessori. When she was younger, she really liked learning. She developed great interest towards sciences and mathematics, but then her father and her mother were not really interested with her going to a technical school. However, when she persuaded her parents, she was able to go to a technical school and pursued what she loved, and that is actually why she became a doctor. And then she became an assistant doctor wherein she studied those mentally disabled children. She studied them and concluded that those mentally disabled children did not really need a medical treatment, but rather they need education. Her conclusion made her travel across Europe and conduct speeches that made her more popular and be noticed by the minister in Italy, who was actually specializing in public education that time. By mutual agreement, they were able to decide that Maria Montessori should teach those students, or rather those mentally disabled children, and educate them. By that case, Maria Montessori would take 12 hours of studying and observing what are the needs of those mentally disabled children. And then she first worked on with basic motor skills such as cleaning, such as making them dress the table, and those basic motor skills. So she took a more hands-on approach, and afterwards she took them into reading, into writing, and later on, after 2 years of teaching those mentally disabled children, it became a success. It became a success because after the 2 years, those children, they were taking tests, and then the results was actually nice because those students or mentally disabled children, they scored higher than those who are in traditional school. But then some also scored the same case with people or students who enrolled in traditional school. So basically, the students learned and everyone was happy because those mentally disabled children was given hope to be better educated. After her research, she was assigned to take good care and to teach those children, poor children, in an apartment. She observed the children on how they performed in completing tasks. She then applied some of the methods she had used when she was with the mentally disabled children. And when she applied it, she noticed that a child, when performing a task, would devote their full focus on the task until it is completed. Moreover, she also concluded that those children were much happier and healthier after engaging in a mental exercise. These observations helped her revise and improve her methods on normal children. The method she developed was based on independence learning from the child wanting to learn. She developed the essence of physical substance or materials in teaching that the child would touch and work with to learn. Teachers would serve as guides that would help the children grasp the concept, not tell them what to do and how to do it. Because at the very first place, what Maria Montessori had put up is not simply to become a normal school, and it was not set up like a normal school either. What she had created was later on called as the Casa dei Bambini, or the Children's House. This is how a Casa dei Bambini looks like. Now this is the Casa Garden. Montessori is a method of education that is based on self directed activity, hands on learning, and collaborative play. The environments in Montessori classroom are beautifully crafted that are designed to meet the needs of the children. In Montessori classroom, children makes creative choices in their learning while the classroom and the highly trained teacher would offer age appropriate activities, and the children would work in pairs or in groups or individually to, of course, develop their maximum potential. Every material in a Montessori classroom supports an aspect of child development, creating a match between the child's natural interests and the available activities. They can respond at any moment to the natural curiosities that exist in all humans and build a solid foundation for lifelong learning. Children can also learn at their own pace, and, of course, the experiential learning in this type of classroom can lead to a deeper understanding on different fields such as mathematics, science, so on and so forth. Now, if you're wondering how does a Montessori classroom looks like, this is how it looks like. On the right side of the screen, you can see that the children are grouped into pairs for them to learn and to do their task. And at the back of those children, you can see that there is this highly trained teacher who facilitated those two kids. And the overall pictures, you can see that the Montessori classroom are divided into different areas because it makes the children explore and walk towards the classroom to get the materials that they need for the day. And yes, the classroom is highly organized, it's very neat, and that's it. Now, one thing that you need to know more about Montessori classroom is that their setup is a multi-age classroom wherein the specific age range is 3. So, for example, in this classroom, the students are in the ages of 3 to 6 years old, and then in this classroom, the students are in the ages of 6 to 9 years old. So, why is that set up like that? It is because Montessori believes in the notion that the younger children can learn from those older children, and the older children can learn from those younger children. If you're still confused with Montessori education, let me give you a brief difference between conventional and Montessori. For conventional, it assumes that children needs incentives for learning, such as gold stars, honor rolls, and if they don't respond, they'll be punished. They'll go to principal's office or detention. Now for Montessori, the children are not forced to learn and they really do not need extrinsic rewards because for them it spoils the learning of the child. Another difference between conventional and Montessori is that teachers engage the class as a whole and teach the same lecture to all of the students. On the other hand, in Montessori, teachers interact with the students individually or in small groups or in pairs. Respect for the child is the major principle of Maria Montessori education, and this is the first principle by which respect is shown by not interrupting the child's concentration. It is shown by which it gives people the freedom to make their own choices, to make things for themselves, to learn by themselves, and the teachers would serve as a guide to them. Principle number 2 is the absorbent mind. Montessori education is based on the principle that simply by living, children are constantly learning from the world around them. Through their senses, children constantly absorb information from their world. They then make sense of it because they are thinking beings. Third principle is the sensitive periods. Montessori pedagogy believes that there are certain periods during which children are more ready to learn certain skills. These are known as the sensitive periods that last only as long as the child acquires the skills. And with this, the Montessori teachers should identify the student's sensitive period and provide them with resources to flourish during this time. The fourth method is the prepared environment. Montessori method suggests that children learn best in an environment that has been prepared to enable them to do things on their own. So it's always a child-centered learning environment that promotes freedom for children to choose a material that suits for them, and of course the teacher would prepare that material. The fifth principle is the auto-education. Auto-education or self-education is the concept that children are capable of educating themselves. And in Montessori, this is the most important beliefs because teachers provide the environment, the encouragement, the inspiration, and the guidance to make the students educate themselves. It's a wrap. Thank you and goodbye.